But you got the gist of where the Biden administration is coming on these lost jobs in the energy industry, the traditional fossil fuel energy, ever since he announced that he was shutting down the Keystone Pipeline, or at least are part of it. 1,000 jobs quickly jettisoned at one major player. Jobs could be in peril that depend on this as well, affecting the oil industry, the coal industry. And that's where the West Virginia Governor Jim Justice comes in. He doesn't like this trend. And right now it's a trend that he says is building steam. Governor, very good to have you. Looks like this proverbial train has left the station here. But when John Kerry, I guess their climate change envoy, talks about, a lot of these workers who've lost jobs transitioning to solar panels and putting them on homes and buildings, I wonder if they get the magnitude of this.
Neil, well, first of all, thanks for having me. But Neil, does anyone really believe that John Kerry or President Biden or the powers to be really truly understand what's going on in the energy sector of this country? I mean, it's bad enough that the country's divided in a lot of different directions today, and we better reach back and pull our head out of our what and get ourselves back together and have some real rational thinking. But if you'll just step back and think about this, West Virginia embraces the alternative energies, but we are smart enough to realize, and this country should realize, that we can't do without coal and gas today. I mean, absolutely, we're going to go from energy independence to dependence that could very well cause chaos in a lot of different situations. And Neil, just think about just this. The people in the energy sector, whether it be coal or gas or whatever it may be, they're proud people. And they've worked there for decades and decades. And absolutely, without any question, no matter what anybody tries to tell me, you can't possibly do without coal and gas today. But these proud people, what just happens if they know they powered the nation? They absolutely saved us at wartime. They know all of that. And at some point in time, they may awaken to the fact that they're just tired of getting beat on and tired of getting just pushed down. What if in America today we were to awaken to an industry of gas and coal and everything that would just decide, okay, everybody says they can do without us. We'll just absolutely shut everything down for 6 months and just see. It would spin this nation into chaos like you can't possibly imagine. So if that be the case, then we need them. So why in the world are we just continuing to beat on them? These are good people.
So then Governor, let me ask you this. They argue if this was so damaging, those who have been advocating this transition to cleaner energy, that if this was so damaging, then oil prices, related prices would be skyrocketing. They're not. Now, a lot of that, as you know, is really the backdrop of the pandemic and sort of hitting global demand. So they say, what's the big worry? And that there are going to be millions of more new jobs created than the relatively small, by comparison, coal and oil jobs that will go. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I said in the beginning, we would embrace the alternatives. But the problem with the whole makeup is just this. You have people that are driving the engine that really believe that coal and gas, if we get rid of it in America and everything, it's going to solve the entire globe. But I met yesterday with Congresswoman Miller, and she was telling me about all the different need and desires that Vietnam, building coal plants, taking electricity to its people, wanting to buy more and more and more coal. I mean, Neil, I'm a practical thinking guy, and I am telling you just straight up, if we don't get rational, good thinking going on in this nation, all across our land, we're going to awaken to a situation to where power bills are going to go out of sight. Brownouts are going to happen. Absolutely, from the standpoint of needing metallurgical coal to make steel, that may blow up. What are we going to do if we turn around and all that starts happening? Are we going to start screaming, drill, baby, drill? I mean, come on. Let's just have some good.
So let me ask you, do you think then, Governor, do you think that, I know there's been talk about paying for, rejoining the climate accord, that John Kerry even admitted as much, that if we were to be completely clean ourselves, that wouldn't erase 90% of the problem. That's the rest of the world that doesn't adhere to a lot of the same standards we would be committed to adhering to and paying a lot of money for, including a carbon tax and some of these other ideas that have been advanced. What do you think of that?
I don't think much of it, because really and truly, we got enough problems going on right now in America. You know, we have a racial divide. We have absolutely divided people. We have a pandemic. I mean, why do we need to nobly blow our legs off for the whole world? And then in all honesty, the whole world is going to step back and laugh at us. And so no, I mean, I am all for a real strategy, a real energy strategy, because, Neil, let me just say one other thing, and it's just this. The only way civilization advances in this world, in time, is cheap, abundant, clean energy. It's the only way. And it was only just cheap, abundant energy. But really and truly, if you want civilization to advance, today we need clean energy. And I'm all for it. But we just have to have a strategy rather than a knee jerk. And that's what we have going on right now. And it's going to backfire. It's really going to hurt us.
All right. So just to be clear, as the governor of one of the most important coal states in the country, to say just energy in general, you are open to all forms of energy. You're just not keen on eliminating, in this case, coal, right?
Well, I mean, that's exactly right, Neil. I mean, West Virginia, the Coal Association, the gas people, all of us embrace the alternatives. Just the other day, I welcomed a $200 million investment into our state on the windmill business. And so absolutely, we embrace, but we're smart enough to realize we've got to have a strategy. We've got to have a real strategy going forward that says this is going to be, this is what we're going to do. This is how this is going to phase in, phase out, this and all that.
Got it. Governor, thank you very much. Governor Justice, West Virginia.